Well, hey, if we have not had the chance to meet yet, my name is Dave, and I get to serve in our arts department. A team of artists, musicians, technicians, video filmmaker, graphic designer. This team serves more than 100 volunteers of people right here in our community that serve this church. They take the music and the environments and aligns all of that to our mission. And in fact, I think I have a picture of our team coming up right here. Yeah, that's our team. Pretty good looking bunch, don't you think? Right? Yeah, for sure. Kind of people you'd like to take home and introduce to your parents? Yeah. Well, looks are deceiving, people, because there are sinister forces at work here. See, what happens is that when one of these people takes a much needed vacation, the rest of them will gather together and create a mob of pranksters against the person that's on the vacation. They look all innocent and sweet, but they will eat their own. Okay, so all of this kind of started about 10 years ago when Joel Armstrong, our technical director, came on staff. Now, at that time, Joel would always wear this really bright colored fleece. And we actually teased him mercilessly about it. It was not pretty. And so when Joel went on his first vacation, his office needed to be painted. And so the team got together, not me, and decided that we would paint his office the color of this fleece. It was bubblegum pink. And it's still pink to this day. Since then, paint, ropes, coffee cups, balloons, signs, cereal, styrofoam, life-size cutouts, false walls, water tanks, fish, crickets, and yes, a snake have been part of these elaborate pranks. All right, cue the special effects. So, a couple of years ago, I went on vacation to come home to find smoke billowing out from underneath my office door. So to make sure nothing was on fire, I checked the handle and then went inside. Fog! Thick fog. My team had taken a giant mirror ball, put it on a rotating motor, and then mounted it to the ceiling of my office. And then they hooked up multicolored stage lights and rewired my light switch so that when I would flip on the lights, my office had turned into a nightclub. It was awesome. I loved it. In fact, I didn't turn it back for about 6 months. Okay, but the funny thing about this prank was that my office wasn't supposed to fill up with smoke. See, the guys that had pranked me set it up a couple of days earlier, put a hazer in the room on a really low setting just to create kind of some environment with the lights. But I didn't come back for another 2 days. And so the office filled up with smoke so dense that I couldn't even find my chair or my desk. I was so disoriented. Whew. Reminds some of you of your college experience. I know some of you. So fog can be a real thing, and actually a real dangerous thing when it comes to pilots. In fact, when pilots fly into fog, it can be so disorienting that at times they'll start to fly sideways, and it's been reported that they'll actually fly upside down without them even realizing it. And then that can be serious and happen, like they could crash, resulting in a loss of life. That's the possible outcome of the most recent helicopter crash in LA. See, the technical name for this is spatial disorientation. That's why every pilot now has gauges that help them understand their altitude, their airspeed, their navigation, their direction, and so much more. And should they put their confidence in those gauges, it will allow them to fly to safety. So I bet you're saying, okay, Dave, land the plane here. Like, what's the analogy for? Well, here's the turn. See, in our lives, the teachings of Jesus are like the gauges to help us fly our lives with confidence. See, our world, our culture, it's become so foggy, and it's so easy to drift and become disoriented, isn't it? And that's why I love why Jesus takes the teachings of God and makes them so incredibly practical. In fact, his teachings have been said to be so countercultural that they're referred to as the upside down kingdom. When in reality, frankly, I think it's our world that's turned upside down. And when we encounter Jesus, he makes things right, reorients things to how they were designed to be in the first place. You see, when we hit the fog of life and it becomes so disorienting, Jesus says, let me show you a better way. You see, I'd like to think of him providing the gauges so that we might not just have spatial orientation, but spiritual. For this is the genius of Jesus.